Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to In the Music Box with Tanya Dallas Lewis, where there's love inside, bringing you the hottest gospel and Christian music, interviews that are all the way live, and the latest Christian and gospel news. So don't touch that dial.
Right here, DC Zone. And of course, this is your girl, Tanya Dallas Lewis, even as we broadcast live from the DMV in our virtual studios. It is hot outside, but there's still nobody higher than our God. Amen. Everybody say amen.
Amen.
We've got a great show. That's right. Amen. We got a great show lined up for you guys on tonight. We've got a music mogul in the house. Of course, none other than Troy Edwards. And if you guys are paying any attention to my Facebook page, you heard me say this, and it's like so true. This one man has so many titles that on his auto signature in his email logic, it takes up almost an entire page. Is that crazy or what?
That is totally awesome. That's
it
how you
is
do
awesome. That is how you do it. And so CEO of 3HP Promotions, Productions, record labels. He's doing so many things. He's going to be joining us on tonight, so you guys want to make sure that you're here because he's got, look, I'm telling you, from the BET Awards to the DMV Awards and so much more. He's got so much going on, so they better get their butts here. And I said this online to the whole world. I said that if they're late, I'm going to have to go get my belt. Did your parents ever say that to you, go get the belt?
Yes, and I'm going to use it.
Well, you know, the funny thing is they have some nerve telling us to go get the belt. I mean, you're the one who wants to whoop me, so why are you telling me to go get the belt? Only black parents, I promise.
Don't be scared. I used to get the most raggedy one. I tried to get the most raggedy one that's been beat up. The one my daddy's favorite one. I used to get that one because it had the stitch was coming up out of it. The leather was breaking up.
And it was thin too, right? It didn't really hurt.
Right,
you kind of tested it on your leg by giving yourself a medium
exactly.
slap,
and
was like, this is the one.
I can take this one. I'm gonna just cry over. I'm gonna just do some crying just because I'm gonna act like it.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. What happened when you brought him the belt? I'm sure he was on to your scheme. No.
It took him a while to get onto it. After that, he started doubling up. So he doubled up. He was like, "Oh, you want to get this skinny one? Get two."
Well, my mom was hip already, so when we went and got the belt and came back with a little scraggly, skinny, thin one, she was just like, "Oh no." And it's kind of like, exactly. That's why you should have went and got the belt. Why are you telling me to get the belt? You go get the belt, lady. You. And
I
of course,
dare you to
we're
say
not crazy.
Right.
No,
you ain't crazy.
Black kids are not crazy. Now these days I don't know, but back in the day, black kids knew better. We had a lot of dialogue and conversation going on in our head, but we didn't dare say it to our parents. And so
because parents are crazy. They're crazy. They were good. They were crazy.
Yeah, well now the kids have the law on their side. So my children will actually tell me what they're thinking, and I'm like, are you crazy?
Right. Exactly. I know you done sipped on something.
Thank you. I would have to explain to my sixth grader, you might think these things in your mind, but you don't say them out loud. I said, because if you were growing up on my dad, you would have got your block knocked off. It's just crazy.
Knocked off.
But we're reminiscing right here on the Music Box Live, broadcasting from our virtual studios right here in the DMV. Yes, we're talking about belts. And for those of you, holla all of y'all who used to get whoopings. That's right.
Hashtag
belt. Wave your hands. That's right.
Hashtag belt.
But anyway,
that's right.
We've got a great show. And, of course, before we pay our bills, Logic always has one favor to ask of you guys. Go ahead. I'm gonna release you. Ask them.
You better holler out your window. Tell your neighbor. You better listen to the Music Box.
That's right. Holler out your window. Knock on your neighbor's door. We don't care what y'all have to do. Let everybody know that Tanya Dallas Lewis is right here on Blog Talk Radio, broadcasting live on the Music Box. We want to say hello, of course, to everybody listening on iTunes via podcast, those of you listening via Facebook, Twitter, on the phone, in your car, hanging out live in our chat room, or on, well, that is live on the chat. Okay, all right, I got excited, Logic. I got tripped up. Or listening via PG Baby, the PG Network. Who else is airing us? Oh, Lord. I Am Radio, I think, is airing us as well. And we just had another offer from a global radio station to syndicate our show on their radio network, internet station as well. So, woo-hoo!
Staying international. We international.
I'm telling you.
We're going to start serving international food in the green room.
I know. That's just what we have to do. And I'm sure you coordinated with LaQuita to see what she prepared for Troy Edwards, our special guest. But before we pull him out of the virtual green room, you guys know what we got to do. We got to pay some bills, and then we'll be right back with the Music Box. 646-652-2106 is the number to call in and hang out with your girl. And, of course, my boy here, Logic, the teacher. He thinks he has wisdom somewhere. Do you have wisdom?
I do. I have street wisdom.
Oh.
Street wisdom. Yeah, I'm real gangster over here. We gangster.
Okay then. Well, we're gonna pay some bills while he continues to be gangster. I'm a wankster. I want to be a rap artist.
Come on, you're not supposed to say that though. You're not supposed. You can't be a rapper and be a gangster. See, we're gonna go to this break and we're gonna work on Tanya's gangster.
Yes, I need to get up with the gangster dialect. I don't have it down at all.
You don't.
All right, you guys, make sure you keep it locked right here on the Music Box, and we'll be back with more, especially our special featured guest, Mr. Troy Edwards. You guys are gonna love him, I promise. We'll be right back.
This is Casper, the Biblical Son, and the ITG Agency, listening to my girl Tanya Dallas Lewis right here on the Music Box.
Are you a charitable organization? Do you need help with your fundraising events? Let ITG assist you with that endeavor. The ITG Agency is a nonprofit agency with a focus on hosting charity events, from concerts, fashion shows, and more. Whether big or small, ITG is there to make every event a successful one. So please visit our website at www.theitgagency.com or call us at 614-328-8002.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Tanya Dallas Lewis right here on the Music Box, and make sure you follow me on Twitter at Tanya D. Lewis. That's the @ T as in Tom, A, N as in Nancy, Y-A, D as in dog, L, E as in everything, W, I, S as in Sam. That's right, at Tanya D. Lewis on Twitter. Love y'all. Now back to more on the Music Box.
You're inside the Music Box with Tanya Dallas Lewis. Keep it locked.
Here we go.
That's right, keep it locked, because this is the place to be on Thursday night, and it was a scorcher outside today. I am just, it didn't bother me at all. I just, everybody's like, it's so hot outside, and I'm like, yeah, no, it isn't. Until I went go-karting with my two boys just a few minutes ago. Yeah, literally a few minutes ago. And I'm sitting outside waiting our turn in line, and I'm like, what is this stuff dripping down my back? Yeah, sweat. We just want to make sure we salute our sponsors for tonight's show. Of course, the ITG Agency and Gift Graphics and ThatMinistriesRadio.com. Of course, we always shout out our supporters, and two of our biggest ones are the Black Gospel Blog with Bob Maravich. Check him out, theblackgospelblog.com, as well as my girl, Sarah Hearn of Positively Gospel is now online. Make sure you guys check that out at positivelygospel.com. Many of you know her, especially right here in the DMV, as she works for theexaminer.com. She's the gospel examiner. So you guys make sure you show her some love on her newest venture. It's called positivelygospel.com. Logic, happy birthdays are in order for July. Kevin Q. Williams will be celebrating his birthday on the 21st.
Yeah,
Lisa
Trey
Dallas
Howard's
celebrated
birthday.
hers. Trey Howard, that's right. Is that today?
I don't know. I think it is today.
Yes,
yeah, it's today. It is.
I think
today.
it is today.
Happy
birthday, Trey Howard. My little sister, Tisha Dallas. Of course, my cousins, Derek and Garrett. They are the twins. My granddad on the 10th. All of you July birthdays, happy birthday from your girl, Tanya Dallas. And
Tanya,
and
a special birthday to the now couple of hours old baby of Curtis Washington Jr. They had a baby girl. They just had a baby girl early in the morning, about 3 a.m. this morning.
Early in the morning.
And I wanted to give them a special shout-out, Bailey Candace Washington. July 18, 2013, 11:45 a.m.
That is beautiful.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. And they're going to be ready to pull their hair out in just a couple hours when they meet on with that sleep deprivation. Anyway.
Right. And quote, he said, life will never be the same.
Yeah, it sure ain't. Neither will sleep, at least not for like the first 6 years. Nevertheless, those of you who love Avon products, my Auntie Jay, or J. Marie Mason, she's an Avon independent representative, so you guys can give her a holler. 703-593-1805 is her number. And Pullman Mills, of course, is one of our sponsors. We've got Troy Edwards. I call him Mr. Industry. He's in the virtual green room. Before we bring him on out, let me know what Laquita cooked for him so I can see, and that tells me what kind of mood he's going to be in just based on what she prepared. What did she prepare for Mr. Troy Edwards?
Laquita was outside with the sticks and she put the stick. She set the sticks up, and then the long stick with the rotisserie chicken on it on a fire. I didn't know she could do that, but she said she snuck in the Boy Scouts workshop, and she learned how to start a fire out in the wilderness.
Well, good.
So Laquita, she needed to be cultured, so that was great that she learned that. So she rotisserie some chicken right outside, fresh, right outside.
Right outside the studio?
Right outside the studio. I told her she had to twist the chicken's neck in the back. She can't do that in the front. That's just not a good look. Right. And so with that rotisserie chicken, of course, we got wonderful macaroni and cheese that is provided, and some wonderful string beans to complement as a veggie. So I'm sure he'll be happy with the wonderful our entourage of virtual green brew food that Laquita has done. She's stepping her game up. You gave her a good talk.
She is. And I'm gonna have to give her a raise. I mean, it's hot outside, and she is out. She was out there with a chicken on a stick. I'm not sure that's sanitary, but I don't want Troy to have to run to the bathroom and throw up his food. So I'm gonna just keep that on the low.
She's been cooking it for a while, but we won't tell Troy today. He won't know the difference.
He won't know. He won't know. And, he's a music mogul. He'll be all right. I'm sure he's eating some stuff that he was like, my gosh, it's so nasty. And he probably said it like that. Oh, my gosh.
Exactly.
Did you see his picture that I posted up on the site? Looking like a mafia king. I'm like, go ahead with your bad self.
With the hat to the side, like an old school G-Funk from the 24-5-6, boy.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go into the virtual green room and see if we can pull him on out. Hopefully he's not too mad. Troy Edwards, are you there?
Yeah, what's good?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
We said you look like an OG. You look like an OG in your picture, brother.
Yeah, I keep it old and I keep it new. I also keep it relevant.
Amen. I like that. How was the food? Laquita did something a little bit new. We had smoke coming up from the studio, but, she was out there outside, working on your chicken.
She got some chicken for me?
Yeah, rotisserie chicken, bro.
Yes, in the virtual green room. She
right there.
You didn't see it? It's right in the virtual green room.
Now, you know me. I just got finished picking out anyway.
You already finished. You know what? You weren't supposed to eat before you got here. See, that was on the contract in fine print. Tanya, you're going to have to bold print that part on our contract.
He only, he reads
they're supposed
contract.
to read the contract. See,
he doesn't read food contracts.
He don't read the food contract. Don't miss that part. That part will get you sick.
I know. That part will get you killed.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Troy Edwards, welcome to the Music Box. You're no stranger here. You've been boxed here before. You got a lot going on, and so we've got more than a few questions for you, so we want to get it started and ask you some of those. So first and foremost, welcome to the Music Box. Thank you so much for being on, man. You're too kind.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, you've been on the cover of On Your Grind magazine, which is a major secular magazine, and then you became a writer for the Future Kingdom Impact for the magazine. Tell us about that. How does that happen?
Well, I think what takes place is people, not just in the Christian community, people in the secular world acknowledge the work that I do, and the work is making more of a kingdom global impact with the Christian music industry. And so I actually, he's one of the good friends of mine, so I kind of pulled his leg for a while, like, look, man, give me a column, because people need to know what the Christian industry is doing. So I threw a couple ideas at him how I wanted to do it, and he was all for it because, he just said, you know what, I just want to give back in my own way. So it just gives me an opportunity to do interviews with Christian artists and expose them to the world.
Wow. And you are doing so much. If you're just tuning into the Music Box, you're a little bit late. I have the belt beside me. That's okay. But our guest tonight is Music Mogul. I call him Mr. Industry. His name is Troy Edwards. A little bit about him. 2010 Black Essence Awards winner. He's the CEO of 3HP Records. 2011 Gospel Label of the Year. He's also the CEO of the DMV Christian Music Awards. We'll talk about that a little bit later. He does marketing and promotions. He's got 3HP Global Management. He's got 3HP Magazine. He's on the VMA Dove Awards staff. Most of you heard of the Dove Awards. He is the CEO of Indi Mogul Music Group. He's the CEO of 3HP Christian DJ and Mixtape Awards. And he's also a team coach for the Excellence in Christian Music Awards team. He's the Independent Gospel Alliance Conference member and supporter, as well as the BET Soul Train Music Awards. He works with that as well. Good Lord of mercy! Your signature for your email is just takes up. I don't even know why you put all that up there. It's great. You just need to put up there. I do it all.
Do you tap dance too, brother? It sounds like you tap dance pretty well. You do ballet, and what else?
I do a little bit of everything. I basically try to pick up all the pieces that a lot of things is lacked in the music industry. So especially a lot of things that I see lacking in the Christian music industry, I kind of pick up the pieces and take the avenue and run with it. So God has really opened up a lot of doors for me. So I just continue and being a blessing, God using me as a vessel to open up doors for a lot of people.
So what's the problem with Christian music? Since you said you fill in holes and gaps and things like that, what do you feel the problem in Christian music is?
Well, I think
actually, let me wait before you go there. I want to follow up on his questions. You can answer that too. The problem with Christian music, and then is that mentioned in your book? You know, I just read off your list of accolades and things that you do. You're an author now too, so if you can go ahead and include that in your answer. The problem with Christian music today, and then if that's addressed in your new book.
Well, I think the problem with Christian music today is not necessarily a problem, because I think a lot of people need to see that what's going on to be a problem. So I think a lot of people don't see the problem, but I always look at situations how we can get better in the Christian music industry, and I think a lot of that needed to start with building up the independent artists. And I think independent artists is getting frustrated because they don't have a home, and radio stations don't play playing the same artists all over and over again. And I know, and I've seen there's a lot of politics, and a lot of people get upset, but there's a lot of politics in the gospel music industry. And I think we need to open up the doors for the next generation of artists, because if we sit there and look at the Dove Awards, you look at the Celebration of Gospel, you look at the Cell Awards, it's always the same artists performing all the time. Where's the artists of tomorrow? Where's the artists to keep the legacy going? Because the art from 20 years from now, kids ain't going to listen to Mary. People ain't going to listen to Kirk Franklin. People won't listen to Donnie McClurkin. We need a next generation of artists. A lot of the independent artists need to be heard. And that's why, we're creating avenues to make a lot of things happen to the independent, especially the ones that are hungry.
And there are some hungry artists out there, and, we got to see a little bit of them at the DMV, Christian Music Awards that you also have founded and are launching out into the deep as well. Now, you are, I'm sure you probably could clone yourself. That would be really nice. But the 3HP label is the only Christian label to be a part of the Summit Conference tour with all the major labels like Epic, Motown, Atlantic, Def Jam, Jive. How does that happen? How do you guys get to be with that? Is that based on, Troy, all of your relationships? I mean, because you're a part of the BET and Soul Train Music Awards and the Dove Awards, so you probably have formed a lot of alliances in secular and Christian music. Is that correct?
Yes, and I basically left the secular work. So when I became into the gospel music industry, I left everything in the world secular alone. I was with Def Jam and doing a lot of stuff with them. And what I was doing is I had to leave it alone, and because I didn't want to be weak. So when I got my faith and got strong and doing everything in the Christian music industry, God said, hold on to that. So when I hold on to that, when he sent me back strong enough to use the contacts that I have, he used me to make a more global impact, helping the Christian music industry make more global impact, because we need to start now. The music industry is getting tired of stripper poles, getting started the bling bling videos and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of the CEOs that want to clean up the music industry. Who would be best is then the Christian artists. Our music is clean, it's coming from the Lord, and we're doing what God called us to do. So and what I'm trying to do is close the gap on Christian music, because within Christian music, we hold on to things for 5 years. In the secular world, which learn today is outdated tomorrow. So we can close that gap and keep Christian music relevant. The urban, hip-hop, all different genres of Christian music, we can actually take control of all the radio stations of all genres in the music industry.
So that's some of the ways that we could fix the industry, by making sure that we're collaborating more with the secular stream business-wise, so that we can get a global market?
Well, there's not even that. I think a lot of the Christian, I think one of the problems it is because I think all the internet radios, artists, a lot of what DJs forgot what their job is. The job back in the day was to break artists. Now today, a lot of the Christian DJs are about breaking themselves. The simple fact is, we got to come together in the music industry, the internet radio. You know what? The way we can take gospel music to a whole nother level is all the internet radio stations coming together, putting together a chart system, and acknowledging and rating all the independent gospel music. Because if Radio 1 is not going to play us, we need another avenue, and the internet radio stations need to come together, do a chart system, and once you get out there, once you have a voice, then you'll be heard. Like Bishop T.D. Jakes says, a lot of people don't have a right to be heard, and I understand that, because if I'm standing up in a conference and I say blah blah blah, and then this guy nobody knows saying the same thing. What he says is hearsay. What I say is like, wow, that's a prophetic word. And that's when you're earning the right to be heard. And you have to follow people that, like Bishop teacher say, you've got to follow people that's making moves. If you don't, it's just like standing behind a parked car. You ain't going nowhere. So that word this week, when I heard it, it touched me because it's me. And I want to continue to open up avenues for a lot of the artists out there with the BET, the Soul Train Music Awards. A lot of people don't know. A lot of these artists, the Christian artists, just getting on these promotional CDs, the BET, Soul Train Music Awards, that's my doing. But I don't have to go out there and toot my horn, because I'm doing my job is getting done by making impact and getting artists out there to be heard.
Amen. And getting our artists out there to be heard is what this man does. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning in at a good time. It's the Music Box with your other sis, Tanya Dallas Lewis. And tonight, live on the Music Box with my boy, Elijah the Teacher, we've got a special guest. You hear him talking. He is a music mogul indeed. Go to the Music Box website and you'll see his picture up there. He's looking all cool. But his name is Troy Edwards, and he is the CEO, music mogul extraordinaire, doing big things. And, man, he's telling us a little bit about what's going on and how he is hoping that you guys will join with him in an effort to change this music industry from the inside out. Now, we talked about radio. We talked about how radio is very reluctant to play independent artists. There's a lot of politics. The fact of the matter, there are so many indie artists, including myself. I'm not being facetious or blowing my own horn, who we are just as good as the mainstream artists, but we have a hard time getting airplay. Now, I've gotten airplay on radio, but a lot of artists have a hard time getting that airplay. Let's talk about the Stellar Awards, because that's another area where, independent artists, let's just be real, I'm having a hard time. I was blessed, favor ain't fair, 2 nominations on my debut album for the Stellar Awards, but everybody doesn't get to say that, Troy. What can we do? Because the Stellar Awards, they've changed their criteria. They've changed it. They've tightened it up even more. So what can independent artists do to get the recognition that they need so that they can move forward as a viable, relatable artist who's making changes and impacting the world? Do they need the Stellar Awards? That's number one. Do they need it?
I think, first of all, a lot of artists need to know how to dress, look apart, look like the music. If your music is excellent, when you get up on a stage, you look of excellence. I've seen a lot of the good artists get up on the stage and look like anything. So that's one thing. But with the Stellar Awards, I think
Basso and Weaves.
I'm upset with the Stellar
I said
Awards.
Basso and Weaves.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Troy. We're sorry.
I think a problem with the Stellar Awards is, and of course, I understand. I kind of understand why they made the changes, because let's just say a lot of independents get on. They sold, let's say they sold 500 CDs. Okay, they get nominated. What if Shirley Caesar sold 12,000? What if Yolanda Adams sold 20,000? They got booted out for independent artists. So I understand if a major artist would get upset because the units sold, what they do, how relevant, they're out there in everybody's face. But I think it hurts the independent artists because they was given opportunities. But in some place, Mr. Jackson has to make, the people who basically have the exposure, you have to keep those people happy. That's where the money is. That's where the ratings are. So I think what Stella's messed up is they should have had an award system for independent artists versus just throwing away. How many independent artists going to be in the top 25? Very slim and none. So I think the way they did things, they hurt a lot of the independent artists and is making it much harder to for an independent artist to get nominated. So instead of just throwing the independent artists away, they should have had some independent awards. And I think that's where they need to start. And I think a lot of the independent artists, independent people, I think if we band together to create more unity, because I always talk about unity. I get on these radio shows with other CEOs in radio, and I talk about let's come together. Everybody's fine and dandy and happy to be on the phone and say, okay, cool, we need to do that. As soon as I get off the phone and make these phone calls, everybody's about I. But we have to get to a place to we have to break artists. A lot of the independent artists and a lot of the radio stations are not doing their job. And that's one thing we can do is it'll help the whole network if the radio stations create a chart system. And it'll make the radio stations more relevant, and then all the artists know who's supporting them. I mean, they got Twitter hashtags and stuff now. A lot of these people that we don't even know are playing your music, but they don't let you know they're playing it. So how are you going to support a radio station if you don't know if they're playing music or not? So we have more structure and to make things better in the whole. Because I really want to see the independent gospel. I mean, I want to see the independents make global impact because the world needs it right now. Everything that's going on in the court system, everything that's going on in the streets, the world needs us right now. They're crying. So we have to open up doors and have opportunities so we can step out and make things happen. I get tired of churches saying we're going to go out there and reach the streets, but none of them go out there. I'm out there by myself. I walk past churches all the time, giving out flyers and talking to kids, and the church doors are locked, and they ain't talking to anybody. I get tired of those. I get tired of that. But I'm not complaining because what I do is if the churches and things don't do what they're supposed to do, and I feel that I have to step up and make it happen because you can't talk. If you want to talk about it, you got to be about it.
So what new artists are you bringing in? You're bringing in a couple. I got Red Dot and Exec Music and Scope and Russ Shanks. What's some new the next generation as you spoke of that's coming in?
Yeah, X Music is fire. It was on the Soul Train Music Awards promotional CD, the BET Hip Hop Awards, Lil Prop. I got him on the BET things. He's actually one of the artists to watch on watch list for BET. Red Dot, he was from the secular world. He was a 106 in Park freestyle champion, and then he went over to MTV where he traveled and toured with Kanye West and all that kind of stuff. Now he's coming back. He came back to the Lord, and he's on my label. So we actually out there making global impact, and I'm really excited about Russ Shanks and a lot of these artists are doing right now. And it's not just them. Tanya Dallas Lewis is everybody that's out there. We need to be heard, not just on Christian radio, on world radio, so we can make some impact. Because some of these people need to wake up and hear the word.
That's right.
Thank you. And now it's definitely the time, I'm so with you. You know, we got to take a break really quick, but I'm so with you. A lot of churches are saying, we're preaching to the streets. You know, the church is not just the four walls, yet that's really where they remain. And then there's so much awesome music by so many, a variety and influx of independent artists who are not being heard. And Troy, I just want to address what you said before, the BET Awards. Not the Rhythm of Gospel Awards, but the BET Awards, the Celebration of Gospel, we can just go on and on. They continue the Stellar Awards. They have the same artists, but it's almost like this big system. And I have sat and talked to some of the best of y'all to try to figure out how we can, interrupt the system. Because here's the bottom line. If you have artists on, let's say, the Celebration of Gospel, but they're not in the top 25 on the radio charts, people don't know who they are. So they're just going to look at them. They might say, Troy Edwards, he can sing, but they don't know you. They've never, as a whole, as a mass audience, been exposed to your music. At the Stellar Awards in January, Nashville, Tennessee, Tamela Mann got up there and sang her #1 chart-topping song, Take Me to the King. The place was electric. Not because Tamela Mann can sing so good, but because everybody knew the song. Now put Joe Blow up on stage, who can blow. Oh, let's do a guy. Let's do a girl. Men always can sing. Put Sally, beautiful, smart, best in the world, up on stage, and have her sing a song, and she can just blow the rafters off. But more than likely, and this is true, the response is not going to be the same. Gospel music industry fans, black folks, we are tough, we are critical, and if we don't know your music, we're not feeling you. We're just going to sit there and look at you. So it's, you see the frustration I have here? It's difficult. You have radio, you have the awards program, you have radio stations of who's going to play what, politics, the labels. It's almost like a system of madness. And how do you break in and clean it? Well, the man who has the answers to some of these questions is right here on the line on the Music Box. It's 8:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're having a very, very fun, interesting, enlightening conversation with Troy Edwards. Logic, do you hear him? Do you hear how passionate Troy is? It's like he's
very passionate. Very passionate. I love it. He sounds like me over there. I'm like, are we interviewing me? I can get to ranting and just telling people off, and your mama's getting on my nerves too. And let me tell you another thing. My brother Troy, you going in, ain't you, brother? That's what I'm talking about.
He is.
I'm the same way, bro.
Well, and I love that about Troy, because any panel that he's on, any conference that I've seen him on, major conferences, even the small conferences, Troy's no respecter of persons. He is the same no matter where you see him. And like he said, he has a lot to do with the GMA Awards, the BET Awards, from the little to the small. He is working with secular and gospel music industry execs and people who matter, and even some people who don't. And yet this man remains the same. It's the Music Box right here with your girl. Want to shout out all those in the chat room, especially DJ Mr. E. Robert Person, national recording artist. Troy, he says hello to you. Also, Lisa Foster Wilson is in the house. She's a national recording artist as well. And then some of my friends and family, Isaac, Trudy, all of y'all, JSJ Live Talk Radio tuned in tonight, Troy, to support you. Petula Beckles is in the house, another national gospel recording artist. Shout out also to all my friends in Martinsburg, West Virginia, especially Larry Jones and, of course, his beautiful wife. I call her Lily Jones Dupree.
Hey, Tanya.
But anyway, we're going to take a what? I just shout out.
You notice I'm not in the chat room.
Why aren't you in the chat room?
It doesn't exist on my screen. Somebody has to let me in. I don't have the secret code.
Well, we'll work that out.
Put me in the chat room.
I know. Hey, you're in the studio live with me. That's how much better does it get? But we're live right here, broadcasting live from our virtual studios right here in the DMV. Of course, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Troy, we're so excited that you're right here in the DMV, too. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk to Troy about how you can contact him and what he's got coming up next. Then, of course, we've got What's Going On with Crystal, TV talk show host. So a lot going on right here on the Music Box. We're so happy that you're with us tonight. We'll be right back with more. Are you okay?
I said, ow. It's awesome.
Hey, what's up? This is James Fortune, and you're listening to the Music Box with Tanya Dallas Lewis right here.
Mom, I'm hungry. What's for dinner?
In this tough economy, if you're a mom like I am, you are always looking for ways to stick to your budget, especially when it comes to making meals for the ones you love. That's why I was beside myself with joy when I found PoeManMeals.com. PoeMan Meals specializes in orchestrating affordable yet creative alternatives to everyday eating. We all love food, and at PoeMan Meals, they showed me how to get more out of my meals without taking more out of my pocket. It's PoeManMeals.com, where saving dollars makes sense. That's www.PoeManMeals.com.
Thanks, Mom. Dinner was delicious.
Tune in to Style with Trish, hosted by gospel recording artist Trish Stanley, from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be discussing the latest trends as well as what's hot and what's not in fashion. Join us on Blog Talk Radio. That's www.blogtalkradio.com/style with TRYSH. Or you can listen in live by dialing 858-357-8498. Style with Trish, where the everyday woman reigns.
Everyone who made it. Yeah.
Welcome back right here to the Music Box. Of course, it's the place where you'll find love inside. And, of course, it's the place that every Thursday I open up my music box and find and pull out for you the best in gospel music, news, interviews, industry updates, and more. It's your girl, Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's 8:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our special guest tonight is none other than Troy Edwards. He is the CEO, founder of 3HP Productions label. He's got so many titles. So if you missed all the titles that I read about him, you're like, I don't have to tune into the podcast or the archive, which is podcast on iTunes or on Blog Talk Radio. He says some amazing information, y'all. He's definitely one to know, and I'm glad I know him. He's a supporter, big-time supporter of gospel artists, independent artists right here in the DMV area. Matter of fact, he had the DMV Christian Music Awards just this past November. And I was honored to perform. Stephen Hurd performed. Robert E. Person performed. A lot of people were on the lineup. Amazing artists. Darnell Moore. I can't even say them all. So I'm not even going to try because I forget someone. But Troy, you're doing some big things. In the chat room, they are chatting it up in there. Somebody was talking about gospel artists independent artists need to get paid, and I just want to piggyback on that. A very prominent organization, which I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to get any lawsuits, had contacted me, Troy, to come and perform at one of their state conferences, right? Okay, they want to tell me they have no budget. And I'm like, okay, well, then you all need to call me back when you have a budget. I think they thought that I was going to say, I'll just come and sing for free. No, see, because I know, and because I'm learning a lot from my manager, shout out to Wanda Adams, that they have a budget for what they want to have a budget for, because they know good and well they would never approach Kiki Sheard, or you put whatever name in the box, and ask her to come out to sing on their program with no budget. It kills me. So independent artists, we are frustrated, like you said, but we are grateful for people like you, Troy, who is no respecter of persons, who has so many contacts in the secular and the gospel, and are trying to bring us all together and make sure that people like me, other artists out there who sing hope, get their music heard. Thank you for that.
You are.
Thanks.
Troy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, that's when you say, you're welcome, Tanya. It's no problem. I love to do it.
I said no thank you.
He did say no thank you. That's why I was like,
did he?
He did say, yeah. He said you
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear. Anthony Brown and Testimony is singing so loud I can't hear. I didn't get to hear him. But there's a couple questions in the chat room. Let me address a few of those, and then we're gonna let's see. Petula says your guest mentioned that he thinks Stellar Awards should start an indie chapter. Wouldn't that still limit us? She wants to know. Wouldn't that still limit us as independent artists if they have an indie section?
It wouldn't. If you have an independent artist of the year, that's basically saying these are next coming upcoming people. It's just you're put in a place where you can be heard. If you don't have a face and you don't have a voice, how you expect to be heard? We have to start from somewhere. So we use the independent artists, and you got to realize a lot of these major artists are independent now too. So it doesn't hurt to and it's all, and you know, the award shows people get caught up in it, but it's all about making acknowledgement, doing God's work. So when independent, major, whatever, that's not important. So that's why I developed, and I have independent and major artists on the DMV Christian Music Awards because I want to give honor to honor too. It's about honoring people for their hard work. If the major award shows don't love you, I'm going to show you love. That's why I do the Christian DJ mixtape. That's why God called me to do the Christian DJ Mixtape Awards because, like I saw Mr. E, I believe DJ E, sitting on there for the DJs get no love. But guess what? I'm putting up together a award show strictly for the DJs and then radio announcers to show to make all their hard work and what they do because they don't get appreciation either. So
hey Troy,
Hey
Troy, there's a wonderful co-host I know that is very dedicated to the show and he has a wonderful voice. And I think he should be top on the list of nominees when you finish that DJ workshop. I appreciate. I just heard he was great.
Troy, we'll talk about that offline. The man I have on the phone tonight, his name is Troy Edwards. He is the CEO of 3HP Promotions label. Some of his clients include J. Moss and Pajam, Ernest Pugh, Stacey Ladisaw. He has a voice that he's going to share and make sure that everybody has equal access, whether independent or major. We're going to go to the phone lines really, really quick, Troy. You got a question, it seems, or a comment. We'll see. It's area code 718, first three digits 341. You're on the air with your girl, Tanya Dallas Lewis, on the Music Box. What's your comment or question?
Hi, it's Petula. How are you?
Hey, girl. How are you?
I am good. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing this information with us and for having special guest Mr. Edwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, Tanya pretty much asked the question earlier about the Stellar Awards and the Indie award that they would have. I just somehow felt as though it would limit us because somehow they'll have a sector or they'll push you in the front earlier up where a lot of people aren't necessarily supporting, maybe a pre-show or something like that. I've been a part of events, numerous events where they're like, oh yeah, we have an indie showcase and nobody shows up for it. And then, it kind of makes it feel as though, we're just fillers,
Right.
Make it feel like we're not
separate us on purpose.
Right.
They separate us and give us that platform, but then they don't even support it. And I've heard of that at a I'm not going to say any names, but they had major artists and independent artists. And the major artists platforms and events, they publicized and promoted and kept announcing it over the loudspeaker to the entire arena. The indie artist things, however, they mentioned once in the beginning that was it. And needless to say, nobody showed up. I'll say maybe about 50 people showed up when there was thousands of people there. So, again, Troy, what is your response? Because she does have a legitimate concern.
This is where that I see, and this is just Troy Edwards' opinion. When these award shows do that, that's why I don't support it. You know why? Because when you go there and do these things, nobody's in the independent room, they're in the major room, all the media and all that kind of stuff. So it makes the independent artists feel, say, look, we'll make y'all part of it. Y'all go in this room and play and let the big boys handle their business over there.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
So I tend to tell that's how I feel and that's how they do. So when I'm saying had an independent artist having a part of it is actually mixed into the award ceremony.
Gotcha.
And all the year, like, you know, all mixed in together. You don't have to saturate the independent awards, but you just make some type of acknowledgement and have these people walk on a major platform across the, because it's very important to have the stars of tomorrow. That's why that's why all these major networks stay relevant, because they keep using, the music keeps moving and it keeps growing. And gospel music stays at a standstill because it's the politics, and it's going to be the people, that's going to always be the Marvin Sapp's, going to be the Mary Marys and all that kind of stuff. But when independent artists stand up and make a stand, because they know no one ever want to see people move things with force. When people make complaints and stand up and say, hey, we're not going to have this, it takes more than me just to say anything, because I'm going to say what I have to say, because Ari Garda already opened up these major doors for me. And I don't compromise. When I say doing secular, and I'm out there in the secular world building the gospel. I don't compromise.
Amen.
So
and we thank you for saying it, Troy, because we can't. We can't. we will ruin relationships and get blacklisted if we say certain things. So we appreciate you sounding out, the alarm and saying what we can't say. Petula, thank you for your comment and your question. And we've got another phone call. I'm going to take that real quick. Thank you, sis. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, area code 786. You're on the air on the Music Box, and our featured guest is Music Mogul. I call him Mr. Industry, Troy Edwards. Did you have a comment or question for him real quick today?
Yes, indeed. Actually, I'm going to piggyback off of what the young lady was saying. This is DJ Mr. E from Miami, by the way.
What up?
What up? What up? Actually, you know what? I think it's a two-way street with this, because in addition to the Stellar Awards and these major awards that they don't show much highlight to independent artists, I also blame organizations too, like churches, that they'll bring in somebody like a Kenton Jones or somebody like a Lecrae, and then they'll have, let's say, like Ricky and Poo Poo to go and open up, but they have them outside while everybody trying to get inside, and like, what kind of love is that? And it's not just the artists, but even the DJs. I'm a DJ, and a lot of times I do events, and they'll put me like way out in the cut. I'm DJing for people in the parking lot while everybody's trying to get inside of the arena. Or I've been to events where they'll say, okay, we got this DJ or the other DJ, the next DJ, and all the DJs doing is sitting there watching everybody perform, press and play for the artist, and they don't really give the DJ a chance to really do his craft. So I think it's a two-way street. The artist got to stand up, the DJs got to stand up and be like, look, we're not going to deal with this. But at the same time, organizations and even the Stellars or the what's the other one that takes place? The Dubs, these organizations, they need to also be like, hey, you know what? There's a stack load of independent, talented artists that are out there that's just as good or maybe even better than they're maybe even better than the Mary Marys and the Ty Tribbetts, than the Lecraes and stuff. And, they also can rock the show and make it happen.
Right.
And I want to make sure we don't tear down, but we also build up. We celebrate the Marvin Sapps and the Mary Marys. They have worked hard.
Definitely.
They have paved the road for us. Absolutely. But you're so right, DJ Missy, and I'm going to let Troy respond. Pastors, I kind of, wag my finger at them a little bit, too, because they play a role in this. They won't. There are certain pastors of mega churches who know me. They believe in my gift and my music ministry, but they will not bring me in to sing because I'm not in the top 20 on the chart. And so they continue to feed into this ugly system. Troy, what's your response to what DJ Mr. E had to say? And thank you for your call, DJ. We love you. Keep doing what you do. We support you.
Yeah. Amen.
Go ahead, Troy.
I think, what the problem is, the churches take the four walls too literally. I think a lot of churches take the four walls too literally, because look at the old, like Troy and all those Viking type of movies. They got a castle. When the castle, if people inside the castle, you control. And what they do, they control people. The castle's not open because they won't let the outsiders come in and try to change the mindset of it. But the peace castle is an invisible wall, because people come and leave when they want to, and people come in and get a word. We forget the part of we're being churches being like a hospital. People come and getting medicine. So guess what? When you get that medicine, you get that good medication and it works, what do you do if you get good medication? You come back for more. And I think we lost the mindset.
Especially if it's the good
stuff. And the good fact is the churches did one thing back in the day they don't do no more. Most of these major artists built their career off of the major churches. The major churches funded those artists and supported those artists and backed those artists. That stuff don't happen no more. So if you look at a lot of the major artists, they came from major churches. A lot of those churches funded their career. That's why they are where they are today. Churches don't do that anymore.
In the gospel, we don't do another thing we don't do. And I'm not. I'm a wannabe rapper. I'm really joking when I say that, but it's funny.
Yeah, 1, 2.
But Troy, it seems like in the secular industry, those artists like the Jay-Z's, the Kanye's, they are reaching their hand down and pulling up the next. And just in my experience, I rarely see that in the gospel music industry. It's exactly what you said. In a crowded room all together, because I've been in meetings with Kirk Franklin and Kathy Hughes and you name all the top major A-lister artists and a few independents we were in there. I'm telling you, I'm not going to tell you what was said, but I'll say it was unity in there. But when we got out and then you approach some of these artists, not all of them, you approach some of these major label artists or major artists, and they were like, are you on your own? I can't help you. So, we could talk about this for 2 hours, and we just don't have that much time. We've still got another segment with Crystal, TV talk show host, with what's going on. But, Troy, I just want to thank you for being so passionate. We could hear it in your voice. It's like you're breathing hard over there, man. I love it, too. We need more people like you. Who I know, right? And another thing.
Go get my belt. Everybody, all y'all DJs that ain't playing independent artists, go get the belt right now.
I know. Because there's internet radio stations. Shout out to the CJB, JFJ Live, Yes Lord Radio. There's so many Sounds of Gospel. I can't even name them all. I don't even want to get in trouble because they'll send me an inbox. You didn't say our internet station, Spirit Co. 1, who are playing the majors and the indies. God bless them. Yeah. But some of them will only play major artists. And they say, we support indie artists, but you don't hear one indie artist on their show ever. So it's like you said, if enough of us complain, and we don't have to be disrespectful or rude, but even the gospel music fans, I know, Troy, they're tired of turning on major radio stations and hearing the same artist hour after hour. We do have to speak up. We do. So tell us what you got going on real quick and how people can support you and, find out more about you, Troy.
Right, and get up with you so that we can talk together. We can increase this talk.
Yeah. Real quick, I love what you were saying because the secular world, every time they go somewhere, guess what? They come with an entourage. When Christians go out and do things, we by ourselves. So you gotta happen first. We have to
with the guy with pink hair.
So what I got going on, I got the DMV Christian Music Awards coming up. Nominations are still going. It's September 21st, same site at I-5 Church. We're going to have a tremendous time. Ernest is hosting this year, and we got a lot of surprise special guests. And this year is just I had to get it out there last year, but this year people had to see it. And once they see it, it's where people are going to gravitate it. So I'm looking for an excellent, crazy, having a good time this year, just honoring. We're going to be honoring pastors. We have kids categories. We got comedy categories. We just honor everybody.
Everybody.
And I have the Powerhouse. We do every third Friday. We do Powerhouse. We open up the church doors, and at New Harvest we open the church doors because the kids out there need something to do. It's hot, so all the kids from the streets come in and have a good time. We get 3HP Live. I got that going on. We're doing spotlights for Christian artists, independent artists. We're giving them spotlight, unplugged, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to continue doing everything. We got a lot of stuff coming up with BET. We got Soul Train Music Awards. Right now, everything's on a hiatus because they're working on the cruise right now. So we got a whole lot of stuff, and we got double awards coming up. So I got a very, very busy schedule, and the Rhythmic Gospel Music Awards. Of course, I'm nominated for Label of the Year this year, and hopefully I can bring that home. So it'll be my second Label of the Year award. So but I'm just sitting back and just loving what God is doing because one thing I tell people, It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about building artists and helping people where to be, because the independent artists are frustrated. If we don't show these independent artists no love, what they're going to do? They're going to revert going back on the streets, because those people who appreciate money in their pockets and all that kind of stuff. When you see a walk up to them and put a $20 spot in their hand and say, I appreciate you, because the independent artists do that right now.
Do it. $20, Tanya. That's all. $20.
Logic. Troy said, the money is not important. The money is not all that matters. It's not all that matters. But you can still give it to me.
Exactly.
But
you can give me $20. I'm about to go sing on the block and keep on, Tanya. I'm about to go on the corner.
Troy, give out a website. We need a website and a way people can contact you real quick.
You can contact with me at 3hpnation.com, and you can get contact with me at 3hprecords at gmail. They can give me a call at the office at 404-890-0056 if you need marketing promotions, e-blast services, anything. If you want your ministry to go from here to all the way up there, give us a call, because God uses me as a vessel to make it happen. But you gotta have quality work.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's true.
Say that. You better say that. It's got to be quality, or don't even bother.
You know, Troy,
I say that on Twitter all the time. Well, not all the time. I've only said it once. But it's true. The real work begins before you are discovered. Come on, indie artists. You know, I didn't wake up knowing this either. But it's so true. We independent artists can be lazy. Again, I want to build up and not just tear it down. So we said some positive things about indie artists. We work hard. We're hungry. But some of us, Troy, and you've seen us, we are lazy. We just want somebody to hand it to us. We come right up to you, Troy. We don't even ask your name. We just want to know what you can do for us. How can I get on the BET Awards? How can I get on the BET Awards, son? Is that Logic? Did I say that right?
You're close. You still need to work on it. We're gonna go on a break, and we're gonna work on that. It's still
I'm working on my hip hop lingo. I'm working on my hip hop lingo.
There's hope, though. There is hope.
There is hope. Well, Troy, this show was fire. We're going to have to, have you come back. The chat room was full, and the lines, people called in listening. I still have a couple people who would like to ask questions. We just don't have time.
Do you have a
Yeah,
Twitter? So we can send some of the questions to you, brother?
But it's real quick. It's called Who's Feeding Your Man and How to Keep His Belly Full. So it's talking about how to keep your man's belly full, about feeding relationship and all that kind of stuff. So it's not about you.
We'll have him back on.
About him. So that's just a whole nother chapter that I'm doing right now. But my Twitter is
and shout out to your beautiful wife, Shanae.
Yes, Shanae. I saved the best for last.
Oh, okay. I thought you forgot. I was about to say, wait a minute. I got to look out for my girl.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad, because I know she's like, you forgetting about me again. But nope, I saved the best for last, because she has my back.
She does. Beautiful lady. And we enjoyed seeing you at the Hey Poppy Fellowship networking event this past Saturday. Those of you who missed it, Troy was there. You guys got a lot of artists listening to the show. You got a lot of questions, concerns. Troy is a good one to know, and he was there. It was a lot of people. Very successful event. Shout out to Sean Poppy. But Troy, we thank you. We got to have you back. So honored to be, to know you and to be working with you, and it's a lot of different levels. Thank you so much for your time and for being on the show tonight. Consider yourself 2 times.
Yeah, 2 times for your holy mind. That's Kirk Franklin would say. Hallelujah.
That's nice. All right, Troy, we love you. You have a good night, my sir.
Shout out to my baby today.
Too cute. It's the Music Box right here with your girl, and through it all, we are still trusting God. We're learning how to trust Him. We're continuing to trust Him, and, man, we had a great time with Troy Edwards. If you missed it, don't you worry. Don't worry. Ooh, 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 ooh. Be happy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry. That was my
awesome.
That was my best singing ever. That's a Dove Award right there, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But anyway, Troy Edwards, Mr. Industries was in the house, and, man, we just had so much to talk about. But my girl, Miss Crystal TV show, Talk Show, she's in the virtual green room, and she's been waiting. She's got her What's Going On with Crystal moment. Crystal, are you there?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, you got
lady.
strong, Crystal. You gotta come on strong. Hey,
I know, not this.
I know, right? I was about to play the slow jam.
I was getting ready to build up to my and another thing. That's what
That's right.
I was gonna bring it, and another thing. I have got to say this show was really good. I have more independent artists in my iTunes playlist than I have any other artist. I got to tell you that.
Wait a minute, but Chris, you said this show is good. You said this show is good.
You
know what?
Oh, see, Tanya, that's a gangster word. Dick. You got to say dick.
All our shows
with a D or a
TH?
Yes. Is this a plosive TH or a D, heavy D?
It's a D, girl. It's a D. You got to take the TH out of this. No,
it's going to take us a whole show to teach her this. Oh, my Lord. Good job, Tanya. You did good, girl.
Thank you.
Represent West Virginia gangsters.
What is really going on the gangster end is this. I almost gave up the ghost, flatline, fell dead when I saw this yesterday. I could have just passed out. Kanye West is hitting it again since we going gangster and things. He has a $120 T-shirt design on sale right now today. And you want to know something? There's absolutely nothing on the T-shirt. Nothing. It's a plain white T-shirt, no logo, no hey how you doing, no gangster sign, nothing.
What?
Just a white T-shirt, $120. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I can.
And people are buying it, I'm sure. I bet you they are.
They're buying it. They're buying it. Yes, they are. He's got his claim to Egyptian cotton. I don't know the difference between Egyptian cotton, Jewish cotton, American cotton, Chinese cotton. Who knows?
Thread, Crystal. That's that 115,000 thread. We got them sheets.
Fatula said it must be golden cotton.
Right. Them sheets make babies. I'm pretty sure the T-shirt does the same.
That's the holy cotton. It's got to be the holy cotton or something. But people are buying it, and I'm just, I'm overwhelmed that he would do this in the wake of the situations that we've already had. Let's talk about the pink elephant in the room, the Trayvon Martin case, and how that has not ended, but the next turn of events that happened in the court proceedings and everything. So you come out with a $120 T-shirt. I'm not going to step on my soapbox today, but that was just ridiculous. Okay, and then what else is going on? We've come out the sheets, right? Baby making music. Well, Ron Isley says you will not leave him out the game. He dropped his new CD yesterday.
Oh,
and,
Mr. Big.
Yeah, Mr. Big did it. I had a little list, and me and my husband did, and then we did. We went through iTunes and pulled up all the old school jams.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you clarified because I didn't know where that was going. You know what me and my husband did? Well, actually on this show, we don't do details like that, but that's fine.
We pulled up all the old school jams and just had a ball, and everything. So, yes, Ron Isley said you will not leave him out of the game. He dropped it like it was hot yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to see where he was on the chart so far. But if I know Mr. Big, he's keeping up quite well.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. I'm a Christian girl, so I can't really say that I know a whole lot of Ron Isley songs, but
go
Ron Isley, go Ron.
Crystal, see, this is why you're on the show.
Mr. Big? Yes.
This is why you're on the show, Crystal. You see, this is why, because she needed to hear it from somebody else other than me. This is just not a good look.
Ron did it. I have
Tanya
to give it to him. He
Mr.
did
Big
it.
Is.
Well, Crystal,
right
thank you
now,
for your what's going on moment right here on the Music Box. We love you, and we can't wait to hear what you got next week.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, Crystal.
We love you. Man, if you're just tuning in, you missed a great show. You just missed Crystal with what's going on. She's always up to date and keeps us up to date with everything that's going on. We still got one little thing to take care of, but, man, Troy Edwards is the truth. You hear me?
He is. He ain't playing either. He said, and I'm sick of it. The word for the day is, and another thing.
No, that's right. I'm going to tweet that right now.
Chicken, though. That was that chicken. That was that chicken and macaroni and cheese. It do that to you.
Oh, Lord. Well.
It's shout-out time. It's shout-out time. With Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's shout-out time. It's shout-out time. Right here on the Music Box. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. With Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. Right here on the music box. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. With Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. Right here on the music box. It's shadow time with Tanya Dallas Lewis. Right here on the music box. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. With Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. Right here on the music box. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. With Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. Right here on the music box. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. With Tanya Dallas Lewis. It's shadow time. It's shadow time. Right here on the music box.
My spirit, Tanya. It's messing with my spirit. You know between the sheets. You quit lying right now. I'm calling Dale.
I don't know it. I mean, sing it for me. I don't know. I don't even know what between the sheets is. I'm
between
sorry.
the sheets,
I mean, maybe you
the Isley Brothers. You don't know the Isley Brothers?
Sing it. I'm so sorry. I was like, man.
Goodness.
You can't even sing it, so hush. For all I know, you don't know it either. Be quiet.
I'm not going to sing it to you. I'm just going to talk about you on Twitter.
Oh, my goodness. Please do. And another thing. It's shout-out time right here with Tanya Dallas Lewis. Shout-out, of course, to our featured guest, which was none other than Troy Edwards. Want to shout-out Devon Inman. I see him hanging in the chat room. Yeah. He's hanging out there. That boy's doing some big things. He won an award for the Blue Mike Award this weekend. So did C.D. Porter. Shout-out to both of those. I don't know, doing the darn thing. Want to shout out Mahara Peoples Jr., Brenda Bell, the ITG Agency, Gift Graphics, and BatMinistriesRadio.com, which are our sponsors. Hello to Miss Peterson, Lynn Peterson, and Miss Christine Digna Carter. Of course, my manager, Miss Wanda Adams. Love you, dear. My boy, you'll always be my baby, Broderick Purvis. Comedian Angela Moore with The Laugh Lounge, and everybody who supported the show on tonight. The TDL engine is amazing, especially my niece Tiara, and all those people like Logic and Siobhan and Trudy and I can't even Deneen, all of those folks who just do what they do every day without me asking them to help me keep chugging along. And lastly, in the interest of time, my darling chocolate husband and our two beautiful chocolate little boys. Okay, you got some shout-outs?
Yes, I would like to shout out my wonderful, wonderful wife and one of my wonderful, wonderful children. Yeah, I better, right? Or she's going to tell me to go get her belt. I would like to also shout out all of the individuals that have worked very, very hard on assisting Infinite Dimensions and all that we do. We will keep writing for independent artists, and we will keep putting out great music. I thank you all for your support. I also would like to thank and also give a great shout-out to my brother and my sister, EJ and Bronte Stewart, who have been very supportive throughout the past years, encouraging and keeping me up to date on what I'm supposed to do. And I thank my voice that Tanya thought it was good enough to be on her wonderful radio show. So I'll keep working on my low voice while you keep working on your rap career. That's what we'll be working on.
I am taking lessons from Freeman, the gospel rapper. Showtime. He's a rapper too. He's trying to help me.
For sure.
And I'm just listening to a lot of Kenton Jones and Million, and I'm gonna